All right, what's up, everybody? This is Sequence. I'm your host, Trevor Plouffe, and for my very first guest on this show, we got Steven Souza. Steve, how's it going, man?
It's going great, Trev. It's great to be on here with one of my favorite teammates.
I love hearing that. I really, really do. And, so when I approached you about this, I said, Steve, we're going to take you through a few at-bats, and I want you to give me some of your highlights that you love to watch. And I think every player has that, a couple highlights where they can go back and look at them and kind of get that feeling again, get that proprioception back where, hey, that's when I'm right. That's when I'm going right. That's what it looks like. And why'd you pick these two videos?
This first one in particular was a big trajectory change for me. I think I've been pretty inconsistent and had floated through a bunch of different ideas on how to hit and approaches and mostly a mechanical stuff. But this is the day that Chad Matola was our new hitting coach, and he had just walked into New York. And his advice to me was, you need to forget everything. Forget everything, and I want you to just get back on the fastball. Whatever you did in the minor leagues, I want you to just roll with it this last month and see where it goes. Because I would do this drill that you see me do where I put the goggles on, which is why they call me Souzbot, and I hit little tiny baseballs and throwing at really ridiculous rates, right?
Yeah.
And so he tells me, like, your reactions are crazy, and so why don't you just take this idea that you're doing here into the game? And I go, well, what a concept. So this is the second AB of the day. So the first AB, I hit a homer off CC. It went oppo, 2-2 count, backdoor cutter. And so that started to build some confidence on what I was doing. And then I got an infield knock. So then Holder comes in. He's throwing like 93, 95 with good little run and a good cutter, good slider. And so I'm just on the fastball. When I'm right, I can take the fastball on the inside part of the dish and I can hit it out to center. When I'm going wrong, I have a side view on my computer of this game. And this is exactly what I go back to every time.
I love that you say that because that's the same thing that I would think about too. If I could take that middle end pitch and I could drive that to left center or to center field, I knew my bat path was right.
Exactly.
So this is Motor's first game as your hitting coach, and he just said, hey, basically he said, be yourself.
Yeah, he said, just see the ball and hit the ball. He's like, don't get off the fastball. And I said, well, what about breaking balls and stuff? He's like, well, let's just see if you can react and cover. And I said, all right, so here we go.
Yeah, and that's the truth. If you're not on the fastball, you're going to be in between anyway, so it doesn't matter. You got to be on the heater and then make your adjustments. So let's dive into this right now. I'm going to start it up.
Right. He breaks his belt in the middle of this at-bat, I believe. He
breaks his belt in the middle of the at-bat.
Yeah, and so it throws me off, and I'm laughing hysterically. And so I come up, and you can go ahead and play it.
Yeah, we got top of the sixth here. We have 4-3. And in you walk up. And now what I've noticed is we'll stop you here on your setup. So this was kind of like what I remember you as, but I played with you the next season, and this got a little bit more exaggerated. The bat over your shoulder like that. It's kind of at mid-grand now. When we see the next clip, you'll see what I'm talking about. But is this a new swing, a new setup, or is this you were already doing this, just change your approach?
No, this is it's new, but it's old. So I had moved my hands out, and that's how I hit all year. Everything was out here. But my whole life I've hit with the bat flat. That 17 was pretty exaggerated for a reason. But most of the time, hands are just like close to my head, high, flat. Because I just want to think about swinging down behind me. And if my hands are here, I have a hard time thinking that. And so my body just does different things. I don't actually want to swing down. Like, I get that. But, like, in order to keep the right path, that's what I want to do.
All right, love it. Here we go. So first pitch is setting up away. Misses a spot up and in. That's a big hack right there.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that anything inside of the outside corner, I'm pulling. Mm-hmm. So because his ball has some run, right? So if it starts running back, I'm letting it eat. And so he was trying to go away. There you go. There's the belt right there. Belt. Broken.
He's trying to gas you up, and he did. He gassed you up first pitch and broke his belt. That's interesting right there. Yeah, that pitch right there, I mean, that pitch started middle away, and like you said, it ran back and kind of had that that upward trajectory right there. So
yeah.
After that pitch, now you're 0-1.
Now I'm 0-1.
You're still on the heater.
And this is what changed. His motor was like, you swing and miss, you foul it off, you stick with your plan. do not get off it. And that sounds so simple, but his hitters were like, he could go breaking ball here, right? Or he could do this. And so I'm just like, no, I'm looking out over the plate for a heater, and I'm trying to hit it up the middle.
So here we go, second pitch. And that's a little cut piece slider right there. That's nasty. That started on the black and worked its way off. But you saw that right out of the hand.
Yeah, because the line for me is the outside corner. So anything that comes inside of that, I'm swinging. That one moved away, so I shut it down.
All right, the 1-1 pitch. Now he goes back with a heater on there. And that's a great sequence for him because
he's playing the X game.
He's playing the X game. He's on that corner right there. He's already thrown one into you. Now he's going away through the slider. But now you got him. Now it's 2-1. And that was a big miss right there because if he hits that corner, and you said you were laying off that. If he hits that corner, now it's 1-2 and everything. The floodgates open up. He can throw whatever he wants. But now it's 2-1 and you got him.
Completely different at bat, right? And this is what I tell umpires all the time. If there's a count you're going to lock in on 1-1.
Lock in on that 1-1.
Because it'll change everything. And so I try and win the 1-1, whether it's taking or making sure that I'm swinging at my pitch. So now I'm zoning in. I'm getting this one pitch, one spot. It's going to be right down the middle, and I'm not swinging. Because 2-2, I'm still in control.
Yeah. So is this McCann catching?
This is McCann. Yeah.
All right. So he's set up away again, and to me, it looks like he's setting up, like outer third because he doesn't want to go to 3-1. So here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't hit that spot right there.
Not. He missed over the middle end part of the plate.
All right, we got to go back to that right there. All right. So this is where it's supposed to be, and you said if that ball is over the plate, you have your line of sight, you're swinging. So you get your heater here, he misses this spot. And this is exactly what we're talking about, that pitch. It's inner third and down, and look where this ball ends up.
Yeah.
Everybody in the stadium knew that ball was gone. Everybody.
No doubt. And the thing for me that when I didn't realize where that pitch was when I hit it, I didn't know. I just reacted. So only until I went down in the video and looked at where it was that I realized this is where I need to be, because I was looking out over the plate, right? And then trying to hit it up the middle, but that ball ran.
It kept coming back.
It kept coming back, and it ran in on me. So I could have easily just jammed myself on that as well, because it starts so far out. But the fact that I stayed through this and hit it up the middle and hit it out to center that's when I knew, that's a different swing right there.
That is. You could tell because your hands are tight to your body, so you keep them in there, and then we're going to see it right here. Boom. Yeah. McCann he's like, buddy, you missed your spot right there.
He knew right away. He knew right away. And he told me when I got back home, he said, nice swing, Souza. I said, thanks, Brian.
And that is, so that is, if I'm looking at that and hear more and more angles of it, if I'm looking at that, that's exactly the swing that you're trying to recreate, because that swing is going to cover the entire plate.
Exactly. You see right there is like a lot of times when we get that ball in, we want to flip the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't break my barrel. A Trout does this unbelievably better than anyone else's. He keeps his barrel on that inside pitch. He doesn't snap it. It looks like it at the end, but he really gets through it and then snaps it over. He just fights to stay inside it so well.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things to do as a hitter. Just keep that bat path, especially keep it tight like that on an inside pitch. It's something that I constantly worked on, and I could never master it.
Yeah.
You really have to be good with it. You have to be strong. You have to be you have to be flexible enough. Your hips have to work the right way. There's a lot of things that have to go right for you to be able to do that. And I didn't know that this was Motor's first day, and he said, be yourself, and then this is what happens. So,
and the story behind this game is pretty remarkable. I had a bad hip, and Cash had told me, I had been struggling. Not really crazy. I was sitting 240, I think, but not the expectations that I had coming into Tampa. And he said, I wanted to get surgery on my hip, and they had told me, you need to play this out. And it wasn't dire surgery where it's I need it tomorrow, I'm going to die. But it was this is probably need to be repaired. So I needed to play this game, and he goes, hey, look, you're fighting for a spot next year. And so this was a reality check for me. And I went into this game, and was like, well, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out the way that I came in, and that's doing what I know how to do. And with the approval of Motor, it was a huge confidence booster.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need. Somebody to say, go be yourself and don't worry about the results. Because in the big leagues, everything's result oriented. And for someone to be like, hey, just be you, because that's going to get you results. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. And then the rest of the month, he just stayed on me. He's like, don't change, stay committed. And for me, that's big. When people can do that, hitting coaches, they just say stay committed, good, bad, or indifferent, swing and miss, strike out, whatever. You start to build this belief that I can do this.
I love it. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on, giving us some insight. You are a specimen, one of my favorite players to watch. And as soon as this baseball thing gets back on, I can't wait to watch you hit with the Cubs.
Man, I appreciate it. You're always favorite in my book. Thanks for having me on, and glad we could do this. Glad to be the first guy.
First guest ever, Steven Souza. Many thanks.
All right, buddy.